Hello, this is Jimmy Akio, and you're in my arcade room. And we're going to do the predictions on the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford unification fight coming up July 29th. And I'll give my predictions. Now, I was right against the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis fight. So if you haven't seen that, please look at my video with Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. And always like, share, and subscribe to my channel, so I can bring more great information to you guys as well. Now, first of all, we're going to start off with WBC, WBA, and IBF World Champion, welterweight champion, Mr. Errol Spence. He was actually rated #1 in the United States as an amateur and #5 overall in the world. He had a fantastic amateur career, won the U.S. National Golden Gloves champion. He won 3 consecutive national amateur championships from 2009 to 2011. He also made it to the 2012 U.S. Olympics in London, where he reached the quarterfinals, where he got decisioned over there. But he ended his amateur career with a 135-12 amateur record. And if you go to boxingrecord.com, it is 64-13. And you can check out all the people he fought, all the amateurs he fought. He fought a few well-known amateurs that became very good pros. He beat Regis, the current WBC junior welterweight champion, Regis Prograis, twice in the amateurs. He also beat Yordanis Ugas in the amateurs as well. And Yordanis Ugas actually beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs in 2007. So he was one of the best amateurs that the United States developed. And now as a pro, he's been fantastic at 28 wins, no defeats, 22 KOs. This guy he's like a Terminator. He comes straight at you. He throws a standing amount of punches. He puts pressure on you. He hits extremely hard. A very continuous hard worker. He just throws so many punches. Very active. Actually, a lot more active than a majority of all the fighters out there, including Terrence Crawford. He's way more active. He does have his little time lapses and stuff like that, but he's actually done very well. So, and even though there's some chinks in his armor, I think he's probably one of the best fighters out there. And I'll give you my prediction on who I think is going to win and why. And anyways, let's go back now to Errol. Errol actually was one of the first guys to stop Chris Algieri. Pacquiao couldn't stop him, but Errol Spence stopped him. And against Ugas, Spence averaged an incredible 78 punches a round. Now Spence threw like about 48 power punches per round, and the welterweight average is like 32. And Spence threw like 19 power punches. He landed 19 power punches per round, and the welterweight average is 12. And Errol Spence's net worth as of 2023 is $12 million. He's doing fantastic. Obviously, going to make a huge payday with the Terrence Crawford fight, and he's probably going to make about $3-4 million, $5 million guaranteed with pay-per-view receipts as well. So with that, probably go out to a huge amount of money, like 10 million, 12 million, possibly more. Now we're going to get to Terrence Bud Crawford, a fantastic fighter as well. He was actually rated #1 in the amateurs as well. He was 70-12 as an amateur. BoxingRecords.com has him 25-11. He defeated Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia as well. He won 3 consecutive amateur tournaments, which led him to be the #1 amateur in the United States. As a world ranking, I have not seen that he was rated as a world ranking, but he did try out for the Olympics. But this Saddam Ali is the one who stopped his Olympic dreams by him getting beat. So anyways, as a professional, he's 39-0 with 30 knockouts. He is a 3-division champion and a former undisputed junior welterweight champion, the first since Costa Zoo in 2004, and only one of 9 male boxers to do so. Crawford's net worth as of 2023 is $10 million. Now Crawford did an amazing job. He's already won at 3 weight classes, and he's at his third one right now, but it doesn't seem to bother him since he's a really big guy. He's 5'8". Errol Spence is 5'9". Actually, Crawford actually has actually a little bit of a reach advantage over Errol. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference because I feel the pressure that Errol Spence puts on his opponents and what he plans on doing with Crawford, I don't think will be any different. Crawford is very tactical with his punches, and he doesn't just let it all hang out. Errol Spence is the kind of guy who likes to throw a lot of punches, and people seem to forget that even though Terrence Crawford is a fantastic boxer, very elusive and great skills and great defensive capabilities. Terrence Crawford was an excellent boxer too. In the amateurs, he was just a boxing. He was boxing more than he does now. He uses a jab a lot, throws the jab a lot. He's got a fantastic jab, very heavy-handed jab. He has huge power punches. Kell Brook, who fought both fighters, has said that Errol Spence is the harder puncher than Terrence Crawford. And also Ken Porter, Sean Porter's dad, also said that he thinks Errol Spence is a bigger puncher, and he also thinks that Errol Spence is the better fighter. And he actually predicts Errol Spence will be the winner of this fight coming up. So it's you got to think about the obstacles that come in the way. Like, can Terrence hurt Errol Spence? I think he can. I think Terrence Crawford is a big puncher too. Obviously, 30 knockouts in 39 fights. He's a big puncher. We all know Errol Spence is a Terminator. He goes out there and does amazing stuff as well. He comes right at you. The only time I didn't think he was in that mode was when he fought Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia kept telling him that he's a better boxer than him. I think Spence just wanted to prove to him in many ways that he's just a better boxer. All he wanted to do was box, and he didn't want to, finish him off, even though he was. Robert Garcia, Mikey's brother, was thinking about stopping the fight, but Mikey Garcia said he could handle it, and so he let it go. But even when he was boxing, he was still putting pressure and throwing some major combinations against Mikey were enough to Robert was thinking about stopping the fight. I think Errol was actually just trying to box him. I don't think he was really putting the pressure on. I think he normally does do fighters, and as much as he wants this one, that's why I think this is going to be a good fight, because Errol Spence is actually thinking about moving up to fight Canelo, and they're in talks of that, and that would be a pretty good move, because Errol's been thinking about moving up, but he didn't want to move up because he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. So he wants this fight. So this is a big deal to him. Now, people might say, well, he's been hurt a few times by other fighters that we've seen. Like against the last fight against Ordenas Ugas, they said he got hit, but when he got hit with the mouthpiece, that his mouthpiece knocked out, Spence said he thought he was embarrassed because he thought his teeth fell out, because he's got a spacer. Errol Spence got a spacer from the accident, so I guess some of the teeth came out. So anyways, he thought his teeth actually fell out. So that's why he was kind of like shocked, and he said he was very embarrassed, and he was looking around, and that's when Ugas caught him with a really good straight flush right hand. But if you really look at it, Errol Spence came back pretty good. I think it was just that moment elapsed just because of the teeth thing. I think now he's experienced that. Plus, he's been in some pretty good fights with Porter and stuff like that, and where he's shown his mettle when somebody comes right at you and makes it a war. But then again, like I said, he doesn't get enough credit for how great of a fighter he is, a boxer. Just straight up boxing, I think he has it. One of the top skills, I think one of the best ones around. Now against Terrence Crawford, a lot of people think Terrence Crawford has got too much stuff on him, like he can turn right, he can turn orthodox to southpaw. But to me, that's kind of dangerous, because when you turn like that, I used to know a fighter used to do it all the time in the gyms. And one time in the fight, he turned from right to left, and he got caught with a shot while he was mid-transitioning. Not that I think that Terrence Crawford is stupid enough to do it real close to somebody, but there are moments when you think you have enough room and you don't. So, stuff like that. But my prediction is is mainly off of, I think that Errol Spence is just too active for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has been doing a lot of weights lately. I saw in his workout for Spence, he's doing a lot of weights. That could be a mistake because he's lifting heavy weights. Now, if you're a boxer and you're fighting, light weights is better when you're throwing punches. A little bit lighter, it can make you improve maybe your speed and stuff and a little bit of power. But if you do really, really heavy weights like I saw Terrence doing, that could be detrimental to his fighting ability and stuff. And I don't think Terrence Crawford throws enough punches, even though I think he's very scientific about it and he wants to throw the right punches, counter punches. I just think that Errol Spence is just going to be too much. I think his power, which is better than Crawford, I think it's very powerful. He throws so many punches. He's so active. I think that he's just going to overwhelm him, and I think he will win a unanimous decision over Terrence Crawford. A lot of people are picking Terrence Crawford because of the fact that he can adapt any style and all that. But I also saw when he fought Porter, Sean Porter, that Porter was winning this fight. Around after the 8th round, I had Porter ahead, and Porter was just outboxing him. It was more scientifically on the fight with Porter. Porter wasn't rushing like he did with Spence, but I think if he did more, I think he probably could have done a lot more stuff to Terrence Crawford. I think even Porter's dad, who was his trainer, said he saw mistakes that his son made that resulted in the knockdown. But he, like I said, it still doesn't change his fact that he thinks that Errol Spence will win this fight, as I do. I think Errol Spence will win the fight. Do I think Terrence Crawford cannot win the fight? Of course, Terrence Crawford can win the fight. Terrence Crawford is an amazing fighter. He has amazing skills. He has the shot, but I'm going to give it a 60-40 shot that Errol Spence will beat Terrence Crawford by decision, possible knockout, late round knockout. My prediction is that he will be overwhelmed by activity and that he will be outpointed. Kind of like I thought Sean Porter was beating Terrence Crawford. In fact, when he asked in the corner, he was like, he found out that he was not winning. He was like, what? I'm not winning? He didn't even know. So, and I thought Sean was clearly winning the fight, even though there were some good moments and stuff in there. I think Sean Porter was, even though it was a very, 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 very close fight, so don't get me wrong on that. I just feel that, to me, I could see Porter winning that fight. It was pretty clear to me that I think that he was doing good work in there. And though some people will say, well, Crawford stopped Porter and Errol didn't. And Errol won a majority or split decision over Sean. There's a difference there because Sean was starting to talk about retirement after the Errol Spence fight. And when people start talking retirement, like when they're still fighting, it doesn't really ode well to when you go on future fights, especially if you're already talking about retirement. I think that might be subconsciously in their mind as well. And I think he took that in with Crawford. I think right after the fight, he quit. He retired. So it just in my opinion, of course. But that's my deal. My pick is for Errol Spence by unanimous decision or a late round knockout over Terrence Crawford. I have it a 60-40 shot that will happen. I believe Terrence Crawford does obviously have the shot, but I give it a 40% chance against 60 for Errol. Errol Spence is my pick, and he will win become the undisputed welterweight champion for you. Packs it up and moves up in weight. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and share. You can see more information and great boxing news from Jimmy Akio. And this is Jimmy Akio saying goodbye, and I'll see you next time. Please subscribe to my channel and like and share. Thank you so much.